hunters, blue sky thinkers, coloring people, bundlers, all of you amazing, amazing people. And hello visitors from Amazon 360 who are here to see the lovely Tracy Smith, who will be joining me at 5:30. I am very, very excited about Tracy coming on to join me. It's the first time we really got to chat, and I think it will be really, really cool. Let me make sure I'm recording. I always panic that I'm not recording and I will lose everything. That would be terrible. Yeah, as I was just saying in the preview, I've got my fan blowing at me right now. So if occasionally my hair does this, I'm joining the band Starship, and that's what I'm gonna do. It's just like, we built this city. You know, I feel like we should go back to the Friday night show where we had like singing and dancing and all such things. Whoa, someone's actually joining on the phone on Zoom. I don't even know how that works. It's like witchcraft, but you can actually dial in to a Zoom. I don't know why you would do that, but clearly someone is doing that. So welcome, person who is calling in into the Zoom. Okay, so I'm going to talk for about 25 minutes about things to do with selling online with Amazon, with all the treasure news, everything in treasure hunting, blue sky, all of the cool stuff that has been going on this week. And it feels like it's been a really, really busy week, actually. Like I got up this morning and I wasn't going to go out, and then I looked at Yard Sale Treasure Map on my phone, and I just saw all these red dots saying there are like 1 million yard sales around you. So I've kind of had, last week I had the week off because I was pretty much de-stashing. We had a yard sale. We took a whole big U-Haul truck to the dump, and we took a big, big donation to Goodwill. We just got rid of loads and loads of stuff. So my house is actually really nice and tidy now, which is amazing, which hasn't happened in a long time. And yeah, it's pretty cool, but I still couldn't resist going out to the yard sales this morning. And hopefully if you were on Periscope, you followed me around some of them. I'm being really strict with what I find at yard sales and anywhere at the moment. I'm working on efficiency. I don't want to have like loads of stuff piled around my house. And I know that right now I just don't have the time to be doing eBay. I don't have the time for the listing and the customer service and the shipping. So my focus is really on like books and things I can sell very easily on Amazon, and things like jewelry that are just high value and easy flips. So that was kind of what I was looking for this morning. And I was really disciplined. I found cool stuff. Like I found 30 packets of like Sculpey clay for $3. But I'm like, no, I don't have the time to list this. Even if it's going to make me $30, I need to stay really focused right now and focus on FBA. And also Isaac is working his socks off getting blue sky ready for you, and I'm kind of helping him on that and focusing on that. So I just have like a few too many things going on to eBay at the moment, but loads of other exciting things going on. Let me see who's here, and let's say hi to everyone. We have Joni, Larry, Tracy's here, yay! I can't wait to talk to Tracy. We have Lynn, Barry. Hi Barry, how are you doing? Barry is new to treasure hunting, and I think he's the supplement guy. Cindy's here, yay! Cindy, Helen Forrest, James the Cali Picker is in the house. Art is here. Hi Art, how are you? Diane, Kelly again, Karen. Oh, hi Karen, how are you doing? Pam is here, Linda, Jeff, Paula, Janet, and on Periscope, let's see who's on Periscope. We have D. Robinson, Felicia, Mona, Debbie, Marco, Mr. Plus, DY, Michael, The Book Kiosk, Laura Lee, Tammy, Mustafa, Marilyn, James, and Cindy Caldwell. Hello, Periscopers. So it was a fun week. We got to know a lot of treasure hunters this week. So on Monday, I posted a thread of please post 3 things about yourself. And people posted the craziest facts about themselves. We had someone who you would never expect, who was a member of Occupy, someone who owns 6 ferrets, someone who fights crime and like tackled an actual criminal on the beach. We had someone who was a Vietnam War protester, someone who lived in the Grand Canyon for 5 years, and someone whose dog has 34,000 Facebook fans. Like, that was the craziest thread I have ever seen, and I think it is probably my all-time favorite thread on treasure hunting. So that was a lot of fun. I did have a reason for posting it, other than it being super fun to get to know everyone and learn about everyone. I actually had another reason for posting it, and that reason was, I think it's really good to look at what you're into. I heard someone, I can't remember who it was, someone said what makes you weird is what sells. And I can't remember who said that, but I totally agree with them. One of the things I found, especially looking at Halloween, it's really hard selling generic Halloween products. Like, if it's just got pumpkins all over it, it's everything has pumpkins all over it for Halloween. The stuff that really sells for Halloween tends to be like the really weird niche-y stuff. And we went over a bunch of them in the bundle cast. And if you are in the Blue Sky group, if you're not in the Blue Sky group, you should go and check it out right now, because I posted, in fact, let me screen share this. Hold on, let me get my Zoom screen sharing. Share screen. Okay. If you are in the Blue Sky group, I posted these searches, and these are all the words that are suggested by Amazon and by other search engines and marketplaces. But we weight this towards Amazon. This is kind of weighted towards Amazon. And these are the products that people are searching for connected with the word Halloween. So what you would do is put the word Halloween in front of these words and you'll see what they are. This is what people are looking for on Amazon. So you have things like Halloween decorations, Halloween lights, props, masks, costumes, shirts. These are like the top searches. So it goes on, like zombie makeup, horror nights, Halloween horror nights. That sounds fun. And that would be a great keyword phrase to use if you are selling Halloween products. And these keywords are great if you're selling bundles, if you're selling private label products, really good words. And what I loved with these were there are some that you just would not have thought of. Things like Halloween scrubs, Halloween maternity shirts. And I thought about this. I'm pretty sure you could go into Walmart or Target and find cool Halloween maternity shirts, for example. And you could list those and probably sell them again and again and again. And the reason why is because they're so niche-y. Like scrubs, most people don't think of selling scrubs. They think, okay, I've got to sell Halloween costumes. What are costumes that everyone would like? But actually, if you sell scrubs, you're probably going to be one of a very few sellers who's actually selling those. Similarly, Halloween maternity clothes. Not many sellers are going to think of that and sell that. And it's kind of counterintuitive with niches, because you kind of think, well, there's only a small amount of people who are pregnant for Halloween. No, there's loads of pregnant women. And they're all going to want stuff. Well, a lot of them are going to want stuff for Halloween. So this is why I'm kind of, I was really excited to see this list. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a similar list for bundlers. I'm probably going to do like maybe pumpkins and zombies, and find some really niche keywords and do some skyword searches and post those for bundlers. So if you are in my bundling group, you should check that out. We're going to do some skywords around Halloween, and I will post those for you guys, so you can get a feel of what people are actually looking for, what you can put in your bundles. Pretty exciting. Okay, what else? Let me move this out. Gosh, I have so many screens going on right now with Periscope and Zoom, but it's good. We've got this together. It's working. Let me bring up my notes again. Okay, so it's been a crazy week. This week we hit 300 people in the bundle class. We have 300 bundlers, and you guys are awesome. You are like family. It has been such a wild ride, and I am very much welcoming. We had a bunch of new people join last week, and I would very much like to welcome you. And I'm really pleased and excited to see you in the group. Thank you, Barry. You have been such a support this week. Yeah, and also we hit 100 people in the colouring mastermind, 100 colourers, and I think it's been running for like 2 weeks. I launched it just before we went to ASD, and I have to show you this, guys. Grandma Marilyn Southmead, published this awesome book with penguins, penguin careers. Can you see that? Zoomers, I'm showing it to everyone. And I coloured one of the penguins. I bought it for Sid, and I hijacked it, and I coloured it. I admit it. I used glittery gel pens. How cool is that? So a big well done to Marilyn for getting this out there and publishing a colouring book. Woo! Yeah, the colouring book course is really exciting. You know what I like about it? So I started it as like an introduction to colouring books. Oh, Isaac just brought me coffee. Hey, Isaac, come and wave to the nice people. He has to fix his hair first. He does this, and then he comes in. Now you got to come down so Periscope can see you too. Wow, that's all you get of Isaac this week. He's camera shy this week. You just get a little wave. And it's very discreet, Isaac. Yeah, what I like about the colouring book class, we started it with a really just an introductory class. So it covers like how to get started, what people are looking for in colouring books, how to just the basics of how to put together a colorable picture, and then a walkthrough of how to publish it with CreateSpace. And what I love about it is that everyone's coming up with their own ways of doing the pictures and making them really, really cool. Like just really creative ideas. So it's a really fun mastermind. I'm really excited with that group. No, Barry, you really don't have to be an artist. If you've ever seen anything I've ever doodled, you will know that you don't have to be an artist. It doesn't take any drawing skills. If you want to join colouring, use the code Treasure Hunter to get $10 off. And if you're a bundler, there is a secret bundling code. Just ask me for it. And you can join for $30 if you are a bundler. Cool. So yeah, after I went yard sailing this morning, I went to Marshall's. Why did I go to Marshall's? Now, it's good coffee. Do you know which coffee I drink, Barry? I drink Catherine's Treasure Blend. Actually, I'm on my last bag, I think. I think it's really sad times. We disabled the sales because I think this is the very last bag of Catherine Treasure Blend. It was for sale at catherine.com/coffee, but right now I've run out. I may reorder, I don't know. I'm kind of debating on the coffee. I'm thinking of rebranding and selling it as something else. Ooh, maybe Catherine's Witchy Halloween Blend. That would be pretty cool. I know people have tried it iced and they really liked it. But yeah, coffee, it's good, but not for sale at the moment. Yeah, so I went to Marshall's this morning, and it's kind of interesting, Marshall's. I feel there's been a lot of debate about Marshall's lately, Marshall's and TJ Maxx, which are kind of effectively the same thing. They have very slightly different stock, but generally are the same thing. And you can use the store cards in both stores. They're owned by the same company. They're effectively the same thing. But the two big debates I've seen about Marshall's this week, one is shoes. Should you sell shoes if they're not in the original boxes? And I did talk about this. I periscoped around Marshall's this morning. And if you should check back on Periscope, because I think it was one of my better periscopes. So I did periscope around Marshall's, and I looked at shoes, and I talked about shoes quite a lot. I personally think that you should probably have the original box if you're selling shoes, especially designer or branded shoes. I think with children's shoes, it's a little less important, and you can polybag them. But I know there are a lot of people who disagree with me and say it's absolutely fine to polybag shoes to sell on Amazon. So it's one of those things where it's like you kind of decide the level of risk you are willing to take when you sell. which kind of leads me on to the other controversy about Marshalls, which is, here's the problem. I heard Cynthia Stein mention that she had a client who almost lost their account because they bought a bar of soap at Marshalls. And the reason why is that they don't put the proper UPCs on their receipts. They don't itemize them. So if a customer phones up Amazon, complains and says, oh, I got this bar of soap and it's not genuine, it's a fake copy, Amazon will come to you and say, can you prove this is a legitimate bar of soap? And the problem is TJ Maxx and Marshalls are not very good evidence that your product was legit. So it's one of those things that's like kind of a risk you take. The chances of this happening to you are fairly low, but you may not feel comfortable with that risk. So I was just putting it out there this morning that it's like, you may want to buy stuff from Marshalls, and there are people who make a very solid living buying from TJ Maxx and Marshalls, but at the same time, it does come with a level of risk. So as with everything kind of selling online, you are balancing up the risks and the benefits. Are you making huge amounts of money doing this legally? Cool, then maybe the risk is worth it to you. If you're just doing it on the side and your main business is in private label and you're making millions from private label, it's probably not worth it to you. And what was interesting about this, it led on to a discussion in treasure hunting. And someone said, you used the phrase used to a lot in the Periscope. Do you still do retail arbitrage? And that was like such a big question. I was like, whoa, well, yeah, I'm still selling kind of not quite full-time on Amazon, but I'm still selling pretty consistently on Amazon. A big chunk of my income still comes from selling on Amazon. And mostly that's from retail arbitrage. But the models I have used have just changed constantly since I started selling online. When I started selling online, it was all eBay. It was flipping high-end handbags and boots. Then I kind of moved into big lots and just straight retail arbitrage. I did groceries, retail arbitrage. And then from there, it kind of moved into bundles. And I kind of stuck with bundles because I love doing bundles. And now I find I'm moving more towards branded products, private label. I'm looking into wholesale selling. So it's like you keep evolving. And the reasons you evolve, partly seasonal, partly because the way you sell in Q4 might be very different from the way you sell in the middle of summer. It's partly personal. I'm putting more effort into my courses and books and just all the other stuff that's going on, my groups. And it's partly the platforms. Like, I feel that Amazon is getting quite risky to sell things from Marshalls and TJ Maxx. And I don't know if I'm still comfortable personally with that level of risk. I don't think there's anything wrong with selling those products. I'm just not sure right now if I am comfortable with that level of risk, knowing that those receipts aren't going to back me up if I have an obnoxious customer or an obnoxious competitor. So that was my kind of long-winded answer to, do I still do retail arbitrage? But I think it's an important question because I think it's really important to stay flexible. It's really important to stay, be aware of the different ways to source and the different selling platforms, and also the different ways to sell. Like, bundling products is like a huge thing. For me, bundling products kind of changed everything. And also I think private label, I think branding your own products. I don't really like the phrase private label because I feel that's kind of pigeonholed, but branding your own products is another really awesome way to sell. Barry, it's just risky selling TJ Maxx and Marshalls because their receipts are not itemized. They just have their own store numbers. So they don't, if you buy, say, a Coach handbag from Marshalls, it's not going to say Coach handbag. It's just going to have like luggage and accessories or whatever they put on it. So if a customer complains that your bag is fake, Amazon may not accept that receipt. So that's the risk that concerns me a little bit. But if people are making money doing it, it might be worth taking that risk. Cool. And, it was interesting because my big thought on that was you have to stay really flexible. I feel like I think I'm coming up for 3 years selling full time. And in that time, I've changed my models so many times and kind of fluctuated between everything from like thrift stores, yard sales, estate sales, retail, like I've even done online arbitrage. I've ordered from the UK, so it's like kind of international, like bits of everything. And I think it's really important to be aware of opportunities. So one more thing I wanted to talk about that I thought was really cool. I found a cool thread on Quora that I just posted in treasure hunting. And the question was, if you had $1, how would you turn it into $100? Ooh. I wondered, does anyone have any cool ideas? Because there were some awesome ideas in Quora. Sorry, I'm sipping my coffee. So, I mean, one thing you can do, yard sales. And this is one thing I say, like if people are just starting out and they're just doing eBay, they have hardly any money and they want to make some money quickly, yard sales are awesome. I found books for $1 that I've sold for $100. That's one way of doing it. But you do need to be able to drive around to yard sales, and it's unpredictable. Some weeks you're not going to find a whole lot. Other weeks you're going to find loads of stuff. However, I think if you looked hard enough and you really persevered, you could probably turn $1 into 100 pretty quickly through yard sales, estate sales, flea markets. I kind of like the thinking outside the box. Some people had ideas. Oh, Tracy, I was going to ask you this in a minute. Hold on. I bet you've got a really, really good answer on this, Tracy. So I want to ask you what's your she says auctions. I'd love to hear Tracy's take on this, because like her brain is like boom. So yeah, another things people were coming up with, things like feeding the meter for, so like when people are in a restaurant, you go and put 25 cents in their meter and then say, hey, I put 25 cents in your meter and saved you $100 bill. That's one theory. Someone said, buy a bottle of cleaning fluid from the dollar store and wash people's windows. Like it was really interesting seeing the kinds of like hustles and work that people were doing to make $100. And I kind of like the lady who said, I would just spend $1 on a cookie, because you probably can't even buy a cup of coffee with $1, but spend $1 on a cookie and then just think about what you do really well. Like, what are you good at? And this kind of goes back to the niche thing we were talking about. So I put out the 3 things about yourself. What are 3 things about yourself that kind of make you unique? Those 3 things about yourself that make you unique might be a source of something you can really monetize, something you can really use to actually make money. Like if you've lived in the Grand Canyon for 5 years, you could write a book about the Grand Canyon. You could write a book about life in an RV. You can make a video about it. You could do a guided tour about it. You can make a coloring book about it. These are the things that make you unique. These are the things that people want to know. And it's like, I knew there's an improv group here, and their thing is run towards the pain. So it's one of those things that when you see something that's kind of awkward or weird or uncomfortable, our general reaction is to back away from it or pretend it didn't happen. And there are like improvisers who say, no, the answer is run towards the pain. Dig that hole. If you're digging the hole, dig further and see where it goes. And I think that kind of is relevant sometimes when you want to make money, when you're trying to do, like, especially online. I mean, like the person whose dog has 34,000 Facebook fans. It would be really easy to get self-conscious and go, what am I doing? My dog has 34,000 Facebook fans. Why did I do that? But actually, if you keep digging, that could become huge. There could be big money in that. You could get pet sponsorship, pet food, like that. There's always somewhere to go with things. Yeah. So look at the things that make you unique. And can you use those skills? Can you monetize them? If you had $1, what could you do with your skills? I mean, I guess for me, I've kind of learned by teaching what's worked for me selling online, and I've kind of tried to turn that into I guess I've turned that into a product with like the bundling course, the coloring course. But yeah, it's interesting to look at what you personally are good at, and don't forget what you're good at. Don't sort of hide it away and go, oh, that's not important, that's not special, because everything you do is special and unique. Cool. Okay, I'm kind of excited. I want to bring Tracy on. I'm very excited to talk to her. So let me see if I can find her here in wait, I've got to figure out how to manage this. Okay, there she is. Tracy. Oh, no, that's not how I do it. Hold on, guys. Wow, I'm having like technical difficulties there. Oh, I've got it. Okay, so I need to go and find her here. Unmute and start video. Oh, it says ask to start video. Hopefully we can bring her on. I know she's having lightning storms at the moment.
Hi, I see you. We did it.
Hello, Tracy. We got you. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm great. It's so good to finally talk to you. And
I know.
Face to face. I'm going to show you to the periscopers. There we go. The periscopers can see you and say,
hi, periscopers.
Oh, there we go. Oh, I can see it. Oh, wow. It's going to start one of those like wormhole effects in a minute. So Tracy, wow, you have all these cool things behind you. You have Fiverr and YouTube.
Oh, that's my goal board. I need to fix it. It's kind of a little outdated, but yeah, that's the board that I put to motivate me on how all the different ways I want to make money. And so I'm in my office and I just kind of look at it and think about it while I drink my coffee every day.
That's so cool. That's genius. I like the idea, because I know people have like dream boards and things like that, but yours looks awesome. And what I like, it looks like you've already got awards. It's like, you are the queen. And I have to say, you just got, how many viewers have you got on YouTube? You just got
9,000 today. Yay!
9,000 subscribers. That's crazy.
I am so psyched. I looked on my Facebook this time last year. I had something like 300. So I love it. I love YouTube. I love Facebook. I love all of it.
What's your secret?
Same as you. You're rocking it. We're doing the same thing and just, keeping it real. And yours like super great at that, and the energy, and I want your accent. I'm so jealous. Can I just have a British accent just for tonight?
You can.
It's like Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, where they talk about, I want a new Oompa Loompa right now. Yeah. I want it now.
I love that. I go around doing fake British accents when people ask me about it, and I'm like, all right, governor. And it's like, no, that doesn't really.
You see, I try, and I have an Indian accent that I do. Slurpees in 9 flavors. They sound terrible. I sound like a pirate or something. My kids are like, Mom, stop. It's awful.
That's great. So okay, let's get started, because you started answering my question, which I wanted to ask you, because you are entrepreneur girl, right? So you have all these amazing ideas for making money. And I read the thread this morning, and it said, if you had $1, how would you make $100? So and I just saw you say auction, so I'm curious what your plan is for making $100.
Well, when I started, I literally had more than $1, but I probably had less than 200. I really started this whole entrepreneur girl, this whole eBay, Amazon business with very little. I had very, very little money to start. So, and I started just like you were talked about how, you've always changed and created. I kind of did the same thing. I started with garage sales because it was so inexpensive to do that. And like you just said, you can buy things for $1. And then I moved into thrift stores, and then I upped it a little, retail arbitrage. And then I started finding auctions, which is why I put that on there, because I'm totally addicted to auctions. Have you done that? Have you been?
I've never gone and like bidded, and that's.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. It it is amazing. I totally messed up my first time. I have a video on it on my channel. It was pretty bad my first time. I made all kinds of mistakes, but I still cleared so much money, and I was totally addicted from that point on because it moves really fast and they're hard to understand. But I found, just pallets of goods that I can even Amazon. A lot of it gears more towards eBay, but a lot of it does, lend itself to Amazon. So I've become an auction junkie.
You buy pallets of stuff.
You can, or boxes. Like they'll have huge boxes of unopened, any kind of thing, like filters, or what I bought was safety goggles, and it was just this ginormous pallet of safety goggles, and I ended up selling them for, I think it was like $9 a piece on Amazon, and I bought the whole pallet for $5. So
pretty cool. That's where it's at.
Awesome.
That's so cool. So how did you get started doing, because now you're like doing so much social media, and I know you have like a bazillion awesome children. Like, how many kids do you have? Is it 8?
It is 8.
Wow.
You're remarkable for remembering that. Yes, 8. 8 is enough. 8. 8 kids. I love them. It's the best thing I ever did. But I kind of just fell into it. And I had a lot of awful stuff happen. There was like 5 years. Everybody probably knows the story, so I won't bore you with it. But it's just like this 5 years of really awful health issues and serious things. And it kind of just made me reflect on my life and what I wanted to do and what I didn't want to do, maybe more importantly. And I wanted to be at home, and I wanted to travel, and I wanted to start being passionate about my life again, not be in this rut and just, feeling awful. So I just determined that I was going to, I kind of hit rock bottom, determined I was going to change it. And then I started researching ways that I could do that. And all I had, like I said, was like less than $200 and a degree in business. So I was like, okay, now what? And so that's just kind of how, I started and worked my way slowly into now, getting ready to do a website launch and a book and coaching people and talking to people. And I feel totally blessed. I just love what I do, and I'm passionate about it, and want to tell as many people as I can about it.
Well, tell me about your book. I'm dying to hear about the book, because I know you've been away writing it, and that's really inspiring. Like, how did you go about writing a book? And are you ready to tell us what it's about and when it's coming out? Or
oh, well, totally, yes. Well, first of all, I went away thinking I was going to pop this book out over the summer. So I rented a condo in Tampa with the sole purpose of writing. Well, that's not true, because my 2 older boys were in a baseball clinic there, so it was kind of multitasking. But I was getting away from all the children and life and dishes and, that kind of stuff to write this book. And I thought I was just going to go and write it, and it was going to be so easy. And oh my gosh, it's really much harder than, or at least for me it was, because I'm just putting my heart and soul. I've cried like 3 times writing my book. I want it to be like this 300-page marvelous thing that can really change lives. And so I'm taking it seriously, and it just was so much harder than I thought. And I've called my friends like James, I think Kelly Picker's here. He fielded so many of my phone calls like, James, I can't do this. What am I doing? And, just really encouraged me to keep it up. And so now it's really turning into this thing that I'm really proud of it. I'm really happy to produce it and get it out there, because I really do think that people can relate to it, especially women and moms and parents, and just regular people can relate to being in a bad place. And because I start with my personal story, and then I evolve into how I started Entrepreneur Girl from nothing. And then I go into how you can do it. and how to push past the fear of starting and the obstacles that you'll hit. I give you some real life examples, not just eBay and Amazon, but I've stock traded and real estate, and there's lots of examples in the book on how you can do it, and just kind of walk you through the whole process. And then more than that, just encompassing your whole life, like being passionate about your life and having fun and freedom, and just really rejecting the whole 9-to-5 model, or at least having the option to do it if you chose.
That's interesting.
So I'm psyched.
It's kind of about like life as well. And I noticed you were talking earlier in your group, and you said like you want to share more about your life, and that's something I really admire about you, because I know that you're really good at organizing things and having like a super nice house and getting everything together. How do you find that balance?
Well, I'm such a freak about organization, and I think it's probably out of necessity because, I have so much, like 8 kids, and I homeschool, and I have a business, and it's just a lot. And so I think just out of necessity, I've had to create over the years schedules and organization, and I've had to put these systems into place and live it. I have to live it every single day. And so that's why I want to teach people that, because if I could talk to my best friend, it would be so much more than just eBay and Amazon. I mean, yes, it's a wonderful tool to be able, to work from anywhere, especially Amazon, eBay, not so much, but, like to work from your backpack and be a true backpack entrepreneur. That's, those are marvelous tools, but so much more than that. I would want you to be a happy person, and I would want you to be passionate, and I want you to be able to balance your husband and your work and your kids, and be, to have that good balance. And so it's so much more than eBay and Amazon. But my YouTube channel to this point has pretty much been eBay and Amazon. And I'm kind of afraid to add all the stuff that I want to add, because I'm not sure how people will respond, or if that's something that they want. So I've been posting these types of questions to kind of see what people desire, because my heart is to help people, and if they don't want that, then that's for not. But that's kind of where I am right now, is I want to evolve the channel, and I'm testing the waters to see.
Do you feel that, like, being a woman doing this and having kids, because I feel like I've been talking to like a lot of the sort of the ladies who are doing kind of what we do, and do you feel there's a different vibe doing this as a woman? Because I know a lot of the male, I don't know, gurus, whatever, are kind of like, just get out there, hustle, work really hard, work till midnight, sleep in your warehouse. And I feel that's, what would your response be? What do you feel about that?
Well, I totally agree. I think as women, we're more people pleasers. We want to balance. We want to make everyone happy, and ourselves happy, and our friends happy, and the mailman happy. I don't know. We try to make everybody happy, and I'm
rude to them. I'm like, go away, leave me alone.
Go away, enough already. But we struggle with having several hats. I think men are in a great position to work, and then what? Women, no diss on men, please. It's just women. We have to cook, and we have to clean, and we have to do the house, and the majority of the responsibility with the kids and all of this falls upon us. And when we choose to be entrepreneurs, and when we choose to work and try to help out with the family finances, I think it is harder. And I think we are more gentle in our approach. But women historically have been awesome at stock trading. They've been awesome at investing and entrepreneurs. And I think women have a real strength to that because of our caring nature. I think we're intuitive to a lot of different things. And like I said, no diss on men, but I kind of like talking to the other women, because this is a male-dominated field, and us women can be, we can relate to each other in that sense.
I had this, someone said to me, someone who's kind of big in the business said to me, most women are not thick-skinned enough to go out on social media. And do you feel like that's an issue? Or, I mean, I think your fans love you. I think you've done awesome on social media. But do you ever do you feel like there's a particular anxiety? And maybe I'm projecting here with putting yourself out there and putting so much about yourself out there. Because sometimes I get that kind of anxiety.
All the time. I mean, every single day that I wake up, I'm super excited about my company, and yet I have to push through being afraid and being fearful. And I do every single video, I think everyone's going to hate it, or, it's not good enough, and maybe everybody, maybe that's not gender specific, maybe like everyone feels that way, because you put yourself out there. And it is a scary sensation, because you're opening yourself up to critique, and you're opening yourself up to, all kinds. You can't please everybody. And so that is a little unnerving, but it's also invigorating and exciting. And I am more self-confident now and more sure about what I believe in than I have ever been. And these social media platforms have made me have to really people ask little questions, think, and like stand up for yourself and say, hey, this is right. I believe this is right, and I'm gonna stand up for my beliefs, and maybe our skin gets thicker as a result. I think if our skin was too thick, we might be considered, to the other extreme. When guys are like thick and aggressive, it's a good trait. When women are that way, I think maybe not so much. So it's interesting.
It can be a hard balance, I think. I think it can be a hard balance, because, like, I know I've had people talk to me, especially, I've kind of taken a stance against affiliate things because I like giving very honest reviews, but I've had some people say, well, it's good business, and it's kind of hard to find your grounding sometimes. And I found like it's been a lot of experimenting, like, okay, what do I feel comfortable with? What do I feel happy with what I do as a business person? And it's weird when you kind of meld personal and business. I think that's where I'm going with this. And I know you do a lot of it as well. Like you and Cordelia's there as well. I know I've talked a lot with Cordelia about this. That it's kind of it feels like it can be very tricky when you start melding like your beliefs, your business, and your personal life. Finding that balance is a very unique individual thing, especially when you're doing it in public, like we all are.
Yeah, it is. But I think it's important. I think talking about business and not talking about meshing it in your life is, I don't want to say wrong, because that's not true, but it's like you're only getting a part of the puzzle. Working from home is different than having a brick and mortar job. There's a lot of obstacles that you hit that you don't hit when you go and get a paycheck from someone else. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of financial fear. Sometimes your family doesn't support you. You have a lot of interruptions. There's things we need to talk about. And that's why I really wanted to put the book out there, because there's so many books about how to, eBay and how to Amazon, but like how to make a living, whether it be you're just trying to make a car payment or whether you're the breadwinner. Like, how do you really do this? Like, really, like you and me, like the average person, your audience, like how does an average person make this work? And that's what the book is about. And I just feel passionate about that. I want people to love not only what they do, I want them to love their life. I want them to be able to balance it and wake up and be happy. So I push through fear every day, but I'm like I love it. I love it.
So when is your book coming out? And I don't think I asked you what it's called. I got ADD and jumped around.
It's called Backpack Entrepreneur. And I don't even want to show you this picture. This picture's awful. Like, I got a new printer, so I was like playing with trying to print it up, and it's like all pink and awful. So I don't know if I should. No, like. So that's like kind of the I don't know if you can see that.
That's awesome.
But it's kind of the gist. We have men in business suits, and then you have one with just like the casual gear. And it's build business, love life, balance both. And so that's the gist of the book. I was hoping to have it done. I thought I was going to go to Tampa, right? I had 8 weeks there, be done. Yeah, didn't happen. I'm only probably a solid third of the way done. So I'm looking at hopefully Christmas time.
Yeah.
That's my loose schedule.
You know, writing a book is hard, especially nonfiction, especially finding the content and putting it into a book. It's hard.
Well, it's hard for me, but I want it to be right. Like, I don't want to just put anything out there. Like, I really, really want it to be right. And I had so many people say, oh, I wrote a book in 2 weeks, or oh, this. And then I was just feeling inadequate, I guess would be the word. I just felt like, what's wrong with me that I can't do this? But I kind of went through the process, and I thought, you know, I want to do it right. I want to do it true and real. And if it takes me 2 weeks, or if it takes me 2 years, that's what it's going to take me. I'm not rushing it. It's not to just produce an income. It's really, my goal is to really have somebody read it and be like, wow, you know, that's what I needed. And that's what I want. So I'm hoping December.
I really admire you for that, because I feel like there are two ways of writing a book. You can either kind of do an ebook and just whiz out. I mean, like, I did like a book about feedback, and I literally did it in a night. But it's not like, it's just like writing a blog post. It's like writing a long blog post. But I think doing what you did and like writing an actual solid book that's like comes from your experiences and your research, that's a lot of information to sort of retrieve from your brain and put out there in a way that's appealing. And I know I can't wait to read your book. I'm really excited about it.
Well, thank you. I hope to keep it motivational and fun to read, and just be super transparent, because I think there's so much to learn from real experience. Like, I want to talk about the struggles. I want to talk about my mistakes. You know, I've been through a lot of stuff, and I've learned a lot of stuff, and I don't think there's any point in trying to pretend to be a know-it-all, or like I got it all figured out, because I don't. The truth is I don't. And people see through that, because no one is perfect, not in business, not in life, not in anything. And it doesn't do anyone any good to pretend to be that. I think they will learn to persevere, and they will be motivated, and they will feel that they too can change their life if you just show your warts and everything. So it's all in the book. I mean, it's all out there.
I love that you talk about sort of like honesty and putting it out there and being real with it. I think that's really, really important, because I think it's very easy to kind of be like, okay, I must be in character. People need to see I've got to be perfect about everything. And I think sometimes admitting, like, okay, I don't know the answers. What do you guys think can actually lead to some of the best discussions, and some like really, I mean, everyone, you have a great group, and I mean, everyone has a lot to say and to help each other in that. And I think like growing a community is an amazing skill as well. Can you talk about that? Like, how important do you think having a community is to being an entrepreneur? Do you think people should focus on having groups and channels and followers, or can you kind of be an entrepreneur and like just do it on the quiet? What's your kind of thoughts on putting yourself out there and growing a community?
Well, that is like such a good question, Catherine. I suppose that you could do it all by yourself and be an entrepreneur and just be focused on the bottom line and the dollar. Certainly, like if I was just private labeling and, you know, was just researching and submitting, and I could sit over here and no one know anything about me and be making good money. I choose to do the family. I look at it like a family. My Amazon 360 group is great. I asked them today, like, how, you know, what do you think about this? I've asked them about the book, you know, what are your needs? And they give me honest feedback. They don't just say what I want to hear, you know, they're like, no, or what are you thinking? Or, you know, and how much better of a person and a professional can I be? It's like instant marketing. Like, I can instantly test market a population using my group. You with this you know, you're talking and you're drinking coffee and people relate to you and your energy and your just cute accent. I'm just, you know, it's, but they're there for you and you're there for them. And it does feel like an online family. And I call people and I text people and I message people and I email people all the time that I've met online. I don't know what I would do without them, because where I am, I literally live on an island, and it kind of feels figuratively like an island too, because I don't know resellers. I'm not here with resellers. We're not buddying it up and doing it because I don't, you know, there's not someone that I know. Recently I met someone, so maybe that'll change. But my online community is my sounding board where I can say, is this a good idea or a bad idea? Or what do you do when this happens? Because all the time we're growing, and I'm not going to be to the point, hopefully ever, that I know everything, because that means I'm not pushing my limits. I'm not going to the next level. Like right now, I'm all in private label and I feel like I'm in kindergarten. Like, what am I doing? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. And this week I've had so much communication with Chinese manufacturers, and they're so cute. They're saying things like, if you're not sure-footed, and I'm like, oh, sure-footed. Like I haven't heard that in like forever. You know, it's so exciting. And if I'm not pushing it to the next level, then maybe I would know it all if I just, you know, stayed where I was doing for 20, 30 years. But I always want to be pushing myself and learning and being in that realm of the learning curve, I guess.
Cordelia, that's funny. Cordelia said, she also pointed out your background and said that it looks awesome. And she said that sometimes it feels like there's not this sort of sense of being real. And I love that you have a community. And I think that's something that I've really noticed. Like, some people are like, okay, I've got to create a group to be like my audience to market to. And I kind of like that you've gone with the community and the sort of having a family, friends approach to things. And I love that approach to having social media, that they're really people that you connect with. Yeah, because I feel like a lot of the people in my group, I feel have like really become friends, and like actually meeting people face to face is just this incredible experience. Like, you're like, wow, you're real people and you're awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see, was there anything else I wanted to ask you? I'm looking at my notes really quick. Sorry, I saw James's comments, and he was saying also, that you get the anxiety with videos, and so does he, and it's like this universal thing we all have. What was the other question? Linda asked, how do you keep going in this business? She said, especially as single parent, single income, but just how do you keep going? What's your tips for sort of carrying on and just going with it?
Well, I think the main thing I could say would be to just keep pushing through the fear. But every day I try to grow a little bit. I try to get a little bit better. And I've not been one of those stories that's this get rich quick thing. I've really had to evolve my business one step at a time. And so I feel like every day when I start to worry and I start to doubt, or I start to feel like maybe I can't do it, I focus on what can I do today to improve. And so like right now, a lot of my focus is on my website launch and the book. And I really feel like that's where I want to go. I want to go into, you know, being able to speak and talk, because my heart, and I still Amazon and eBay, like I could show you my office floor is covered with books and stuff. But I focus on growing every day. And I have lists. I'm a big list person, and I just try to write it out, like what can I do today? And if you just focus on the now, it kind of takes away the fear, because you're making forward. You have forward momentum, and you're improving every day. My numbers on eBay and Amazon are better every single month, and if they're not, I'm really looking at it. But so far, I really haven't had that. You know, they've improved to some degree every single month. And so I just kind of laser focusing on that. Oh, wait, I have a question for you. Can I ask a question of you? Okay, eBay. I'm in this quandrum. Like, on one hand, I love eBay because I love vintage goods and it's a good venue for selling all of that stuff. On the other hand, I don't like it at all because when I'm gone, I travel, you know, I want to travel. That's the whole point of doing this, right? So I want to travel and I want to river raft and I want to do all this crazy stuff. Well, eBay, I have to be home for. And so I really, really struggle with that not fitting into my model of backpack entrepreneur. I heard you make a comment just now about, you know, your eBay and how you're changing with that. So where are you with that?
Personally, I've dropped eBay for now.
Totally.
Pretty much. I've taught my daughter, my 14-year-old, I've taught her to eBay, and she sold a couple of things. She's sort of interested in it. So I kind of thought maybe I could offload some inventory with her and get her to sell it and make a little bit of money with it. So I'm kind of still poking around with it, but unless I found something that I really thought I could sell on eBay that was high value, I'm kind of not bothering with it. Like if I found a designer coat at a yard sale that was like $200, I would list that on eBay and I would sell it on eBay. But right now for just $20, $30 items, it doesn't feel worth my time just to go through the listing and the shipping and I think you have to value your time. But I think there is potential in hiring like maybe like a fulfillment service to do it for you. I think there may be like fulfillment services that you could work with. I know there's eBay Valet, but I haven't heard much that's good about eBay Valet. Yeah. So I'm still kind of waiting for like the perfect eBay fulfillment service. But I think that might be one option. Another is to, if your products are Amazonable, to send them to Amazon, list them also on eBay, and multi-channel fulfill from Amazon might be a way to do it. And another, Art's actually suggesting swap.com. And have you tried swap.com?
I haven't. What do you think? Good?
Oh, you know, that's funny. I meant to talk about swap.com and I forgot I was going to talk about that. I had my first sale on swap.com this week. Okay, so the bad is that it took 6 weeks for my box to get there. I filled up 2 big moving boxes and it took about 6 weeks for the box to get there and for them to process it. They mostly take books, they take women's, children's clothing, toys, and DVDs and books that are suitable for children. So they're good if you can go to a yard sale or a rummage sale and like clear up and get loads and loads of cheap stuff, put it in a box and send it to them. And the good is that they photograph everything and list it for you. And they take whole responsibility of it once it's there. So there's no feedback to worry about, no shipping, no nothing. But the bad is it's very slow. And they reject a lot of stuff. They rejected like a whole pile of stuff. And their standards seem very wobbly. Like if you have one person, one unpacker will accept everything, another will say, no, I don't, none of this is good enough. So it seems like a good option if you have access to a lot of clothes, very, very cheap, that you can just put in a box and send to them. And it seems kind of a good way of getting stuff out of your house and just liquidating it, but I don't think it's a big money maker. That's my quick review of swap.com.
I would have to check it out. Yeah, I love Amazon FBA, and now that I've been doing it for so long, I struggle with doing other things. You know, my ideas are like, wow, like private labeling and growing Amazon. I'm real excited about it. I'm motivated about it. And then I procrastinate with eBay. I just drag my feet, something awful, because, you know, when I list, I see, this is what a freak I am. I actually timed myself with how many things I could list in an hour with eBay and how many I could list with Amazon. And I could list 40 items with Amazon, and I was doing good to list 10 with eBay. Right. So it was like 1/4 of the product, because time is what I struggle with. You know, we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and mine, of course, is time, because I have so much. And I'm like, I just can't justify it. But I have a lot of awesome vintage finds. I just find them all the time because I love vintage. And so I struggle with giving it up. But I thought about hiring one of my teenagers. I thought about hiring a third person to do it, and that way I wouldn't have to, but they could. So I heard you mention it. I'm like, oh, I've got to ask her what she thinks.
I think outsourcing might be the way to handle it. Honestly, okay, so my confession is I have a storage unit in the backyard that is absolutely full to bursting. And I've had a couple of yard sales and it hasn't even made a dent. So, and that's after I took the truck to the dump and like got rid of everything in my house. But I still have all this stuff. So I'm still figuring, I think the best thing I can do is have an estate sale and just get rid of it all. Like have a storage unit sale and just like, or maybe auction it, like just do a storage auction on it, because I think it needs to go. But yeah, I think I totally agree with you. I think eBay is just really time consuming. Cordelia's got an idea there. She says maybe find a local eBayer to work with you. Like they used to have that. They used to have the eBay sellers that I can't remember what they were called, like eBay assistants.
Well, I found that over time, the way I choose inventory has changed. And I've taken over the entire garage. So I have this 2-car garage that is literally shelves, like a grocery store with banker boxes on it with just inventory. And what I'm thinking about doing, because I don't want the 3 eBay stores. I want to minimize it, maybe down to 1. And I thought about having a garage sale to get rid of all the inventory that I didn't want, just getting kind of a return on investment, just what so I wouldn't be at a loss, but then taking that money as an investment for private label. So that would be my cash, that I needed to private label to get some. I've been getting little things with private label, but to really take it to the next level. So thinking about doing that and then saving the stuff that I thought was really cool or would really bring in a good percentage, and having that on like one shelf with one store, and then maybe hire my teenage son, because all my kids are well versed in eBay and they want money, they want jobs. And so I thought, well, maybe that's kind of where I was right now, maybe.
Yeah, and I think you touch on something with private label that I think a lot of what we find as we move on is that we're trying to get more and more efficient. You find out, okay, I could spend all morning going to yard sales and finding one thing and listing it and shipping it and dealing with the customer service, or I can buy 50 things, list them once on Amazon, send them in, and kind of automate it. And I do think like finding things, bundles, private label, branded products, all of those things I think really can boost your efficiency and free up a lot of your time, I think. So I think you're really smart sort of reconsidering eBay and sort of moving forward from that.
Yeah, it's just hard to let go. It's my baby. It's what I started with, and I think it's just hard to let go. And there is still a need for it to some degree, but we'll see where it goes. But you hit it right on the head when you said automation. It's all about passive income for me. The more passive I can make it, the better. The more automated I can make it, the better. These are things that, we talk about in the book, and I talk about with my family, because you only have so many hours in a day and you only have so much money, and you really need to be smart with both of those. And so that's kind of where my struggle is with eBay. Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate, we've like totally run over, but it's been awesome talking to you, Tracy. I'm so grateful you came on, and it's been really nice to actually get to know you and talk to you.
Thank you. And I'm so going to talk British. Goodbye, everybody. Is that good, or do I sound like a pirate? Is that awful?
It was interesting.
See, I told you, I'm just terrible at it. But I wish. I'm envious.
Well, thank you so much, Tracy. Tracy, we'll have a book coming out at some point, but it will be amazing. I know it. I can't wait to read it. I hope I can get a signed copy, because I'm really looking forward to reading your book and all the amazing things that you will be in there. Tracy has a group, Amazon 360. She has a website, Entrepreneur Girl, all kinds of awesome things going on. Thank you so much, Tracy.
Thanks, Catherine. It was fun.
Okay, let me do manage. Oh, I've got to go back to my manage thing. I'm so slick. Wow, look at that. Hold on. There we go. And I do mute and, oh, something like that. Mute and, okay, I'm back. There we go. All right. Well, that was Tracy Smith, entrepreneur girl. Wasn't she lovely? That was really awesome to actually get to talk to her. I know a lot of treasure hunters are in Tracy's group, and people are in both groups. Yeah, James giving a big plug. Amazon 360. Thanks, James. Yeah, it's been a really fun week for treasure hunting. I've been putting out a ton of Periscopes. Thank you, people who stayed with me on Periscope. I super appreciate you. Follow me, Catherine Tweets, on Periscope. I did a trip around Marshalls this morning and some yard sales, so it's been a busy week. We had the Halloween bundle cast this week. That is going to be, bundlers, I know a lot of you have been asking when the replay is going to be up. It's going to be up probably by Monday. Isaac has to do some cool editing on that and keep all the chat so it has all your comments, all your ideas and suggestions, because I don't want to lose any of the interaction. So the bundle cast will be up for bundlers in the next few days, probably by Monday. Cool. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, and happy treasure hunting. I love you all, guys. Bye.